We haven't podcasted in a while.
It's been a while.
So
It's been a hot minute.
let me just catch up for a minute. In the interim,
Mm.
you've wanted to kill off old people.
Was
And
he the greatest hits? Yeah.
you also want to abolish members' clubs.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I think, what a man chooses to do, in his free time is between him and his gentlemanly colleagues who also pay an extortionate fee to hobnob, drink red wine, and sort of foment unrest in Britain. That's their prerogative. They should be allowed to do that. What happened last night on Newsnight was I got into an argument with a Tory grandee about it because Jenrick says, as we're all probably familiar with now, I went to Handsworth, there weren't any white faces per the Guardian's reporting and release of that recording, and he was talking about how that was a negative thing.
That's Jenrick's quote, not your own quote.
Yeah. To be clear, that is
Okay.
that's Robert Jenrick's perspective. I, for the purposes of clarity, I live in Southeast London. When I walk down the high street, there are more ethnic minority faces than there are white faces. I don't find that triggering in the slightest. I'm from near Birmingham. I'm from the West Midlands. My football club is Birmingham City. It's in a part of the city called Small Heath, which is very close to another part of the city called Spark Hill. Ethnic majority places. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. But nonetheless, I basically pointed out, if you go to a place like Handsworth and you're like, there's such a lack of integration, there are no white faces here. Does Robert Jenrick, when he goes to the Cotswolds, he was hobnobbing with Vance, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he went and met it, right? Okay, so when he was up in the Cotswolds, was he bemoaning the lack of black and ethnic minority faces when he was up there? When he's in Hertford Street, does he complain about the lack of diversity and integration? Because when you draw the comparison, obviously the implication is that the issue is that the faces in Handsworth are black and brown. That's what I was trying to do. But anyway, I feel like I'm reheating this argument. But Lord Danny Boy, he was kind of saying that what I was doing was class war bullshit. Which,
but see, I struggle with that. I was trying to make clear of this before we started recording.
Trying to understand what he actually was saying.
Yeah, because I still the implication to me there is that it's the class war bullshit because in members' clubs you would only see a white face, therefore it's class. I don't know. There's something that I don't quite understand about that conjugation of ideas. Right?
Yeah. Like the implication. Yeah. I get you. No, I think they find it triggering, right? When you draw. I wasn't trying to say that it's terrible that Tories congregate in members' clubs. I think that's fine, but they don't like it when you invoke the sort of the trappings of their lifestyle and point out that they live gilded lives, very disconnected from the rest of society, which is a point I would make on a separate occasion, but. I wasn't trying to do the "you go to members' clubs, you're a bad person" thing. I don't think that. What I was trying to do was just point out that sort of what can you infer and impugn about Robert Jenrick's motives, given what he's prepared, where and when he's prepared to bemoan a lack of integration and diversity, and when he isn't, because I think he's a very calculated and specific media operator. I think he's deliberately trying to sort of overshadow Kemi Badenoch this conference. And, crucially, as we were talking before we started recording, there was actually a pretty significant announcement in that Jenrick speech that, for all intent and purposes, people are neglecting to interrogate and discuss because we're talking about a line of his from a sort of dinner Tory thing 6 months ago.
What was the thing 6 months ago?
So the recording of him saying I was in Handsworth.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that the announcement was previewed.
No.
Okay,
No. It's for people might not be aware that the Handsworth remarks are old. It's an old recording from when he went and made that video there. That's resurfaced around the conference.
During the Tory government, membership clubs were a problem because there were clubs like the Beefsteak Club where it was sort of whispered that that's where it's decided who's going to lead the Conservative Party. And so when a party does actually have significant power and then you have these men-only spaces where it's decided who is going to be the leader of the government, that is problematic, right? But I actually think that the sort of the racial tension or inflammation that Jenrick was leaning into there, I actually don't think is born out of those sort of clubs or those sort of gatherings. I actually think it's far more American. Like, I think it's much, he's on a kind of like American JD Vance warpath at the moment, rather than sort of like the, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to say, the traditional prejudice that comes out of the English Conservative Party. He's on an American wave.
Yeah. It's new. It's a new thing.
Calling freelancers, small and mid-sized business owners. Tide's Instant Saver account offers up to 4% AER variable, flexible access and competitive returns.
Unlike other options on the market, you won't need to hold your money with Tide for a fixed period. That means you'll have instant access and free withdrawals whenever you need it.
You can get started today with just £1, making it easy to start growing your business savings.
Want to know what you'll earn? Tide's clever calculator gives you a clear picture up front.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE, that's JOE, JOE. New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable, free for 6 months. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so then Jenrick, this remark comes out, it's big time, but in his speech, Ava, he says that he wants Parliament, i.e. the government, to appoint judges, to be able to appoint judges, that judges should be political appointees, that political pressure can be exerted upon them, which is, to my mind, quite an extraordinary leap away from the separation of the executive, the judiciary, the legislature. You know, the separation of powers that we were fairly central to, you know, the way we organise a secular democracy for people who are doing their A-level politics. And it's a relatively recent development in Britain, it has to be said. Blair introduced it. They did used to be political appointees, but when he did that, he brought us in line with most of Europe. Like that is the way. There's an independent panel that appoints judges. They shouldn't be subject to political pressure. And he's saying, no, we have, you know, legal activists in our judicial system, and we have to try and crack down on them. And I think that's actually that is a fundamental and significant change to the British Constitution.
It's very American.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I tell you what, when I look over there and I look at the Supreme Court and I look at things like overturning Roe v. Wade or enabling Donald Trump as slapping down any sort of lesser court that seeks to limit or, you know, control Donald Trump's wanton excesses, I think we should have that here.
Yeah, but hear me out. They do really get stuff done.
Oh yeah, go on.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've achieved a lot. You know?
Yeah. Well, makes you
Can't
think.
argue with it.
Makes you think.
It does make you think.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
Makes you think. Yeah. I saw Lord Sumption,
Yeah.
who used to be on our Supreme Court, come out like swinging against this, and he's not, you know, what is it? Is it wallflower, shrinking violet?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's like, I would, yeah, pretty sort of conservative leaning guy, I believe.
I think that most normal people would be against political pressure on our judges and juries. Look, what do I know?
Yeah, what do I know?
I don't know. You know, like, you know, I guess if the government of the day is swinging in your favour, then it might be beneficial.
Yeah.
But, you know, governments do change over hands every 4 to 5 years. So, you know, odds-wise, it's not looking great for you. Do you know what I mean?
And it's why they stack the court, right? It's why American presidents seize on the opportunity to appoint a Supreme Court judge.
Yeah, do you know something? So, okay, there's always that debate, isn't there, about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, about whether she was the greatest feminist of all time or whether she was a right cow for hanging on until she died because of the way that Trump then got to rearrange the Supreme Court. Where do you land on that?
I'm probably neither feminist icon nor right old cow. If I'm call someone an old cow, Do I lose the capacity to judge whether or not they're a feminist because of my ingrained misogyny?
Oh,
I
it's
don't know.
difficult.
Yeah,
It's
it's hard.
difficult,
It's
yeah.
hard. It is.
But you don't wanna
It's
be
hard being this
centrist about these
sexist.
things. Yeah.
No, you don't. It is hard being this sexist, Ava. What else is happening at Tory conference? Have you got someone there? Is anyone being vox popped? Are you? Yeah.
They are vox popping. But
Nice.
it's been, I have to be honest, it's been very difficult
Yeah.
because
Not a lot of people there.
there are not a lot of people there.
Thanks to Tide and their instant savings account for sponsoring this week's podcast.
New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.